Hi, I'm Ken Raymond from the Oklahoman, and with me today is Jeff Hamilton, the president of the Interfaith Alliance of Oklahoma. Jeff, good to have you.
Thank you, Ken.
Tell me a little bit about what the Interfaith Alliance does here.
The Interfaith Alliance began in 1994. There is a national Interfaith Alliance that is located in Washington, D.C. And the purpose of the Interfaith Alliance is to bring together the various religious traditions in our country and to work toward the preservation of religious liberty and the separation of church and state, as that's expressed sometimes.
Now, do you have a lot of different groups that participate here in Oklahoma?
Well, in Oklahoma there is a Interfaith Alliance chapter in Tulsa. We network with a number of different groups and have various activities. So that's, there are a number of non-Christian groups here in Oklahoma City, and so we network with that group and have those members on our board of directors.
Give me an idea of what non-Christian faiths are including.
Well, we have we don't now, but at one time we had a Wiccan on our board. And the Wiccan tradition seems to be growing, which was interesting to me. But we have, Jews, Muslims, Christians, we have Buddhists, we have Hindu, we have Sikh. So a fairly broad representation of the traditions in the world. Of course, Jew, Christian, and Muslim work together now around the theme of our common heritage. So that's been one of the developments since 9/11.
Yeah, you were telling me that sort of 9/11 was a watershed, I believe you said, for growing cooperation and understanding among different religions.
It was especially in terms of the Islamic tradition. I remember that after 9/11, the stories on television about the number of books published on Islam, and you could go to Barnes and Noble and find a whole section on the Muslim tradition, along with, the New Age material. Although the Muslim community has been in the United States for a number of years, but it appeared that was a catalyst for it, and I found that the Islamic Society of Oklahoma City, which is relatively new, became very interested in working with other interfaith type groups. So, that's a generalization to say that 9/11 caused that, but it just seemed that it did heighten the awareness.
So, how does it work? You guys, I guess, have panel discussions and dinners and that sort of thing?
We have panel discussions. For example, right now, we are having a series on cooperative spirituality. And we're holding it at the Vedic Temple, which is in Will Rogers Park. We thought that would be a good idea to call attention to the Vedic tradition, and we have a member of that tradition on our board. So we have called it cooperative spirituality. We had a session on the Vedic tradition, understanding of Jesus, the Buddhist understanding of Jesus, and we've just completed 2 sessions on theologians under Hitler, discovering that sometimes the religious traditions can legitimate even an evil system, and that's a very disturbing trend. But and then we're going to complete the series, 4 sessions on what was the first Christmas really all about. We thought that would be a good time to do it now. And many traditions have this theme of a divine child and a divine mother. So we think it'll be interesting to look at the fact that Caesar was known as Savior and Lord, peacemaker, and that the church took all of those terms over and raised some interesting problems for itself, because if Jesus is Lord and Caesar is Lord, who's Lord? So we're going to look at that history and look at some of the So we're doing things like that. We call it cooperative spirituality, as opposed to comparative, which would imply that maybe one is better than the other. And we are calling it cooperative spirituality rather than conflicting, religions. And I think actually that is a trend in your interfaith movement, to talk about the spirituality that we have in common and not become focused on, well, Christians don't believe in reincarnation, so we're better than the Buddhists who believe in reincarnation. Well, that's not an issue for us. Those are not big issues. So we'll finish that, and then we're having our annual meeting tonight out here in Oklahoma City, and our guest speaker is going to be Dr. Charles Kimball, who is the author of the book When Religion Becomes Evil, and he's going to talk about the 2008 election and how that impacts. So, and throughout the year, we had an interfaith day of prayer and reflection in May. We were out front on the South Steps. We don't usually have as big a group as the Christian tradition does, but we try to illustrate that the religious traditions in America do have much to contribute to each other and to the nation.
I guess that one of the keys for the Alliance is that no one religion is privileged among any others.
That's correct. And when we come around the table for a meeting, we don't try to convert each other. We accept the authenticity of each tradition, and so it's a different environment for some people who think that the role of, let's say, the Christian tradition is to convert people.
So if someone wants to participate or get involved with your group, how would they do that?
Well, they can do it in various ways. They can contact me, and our office is at the Disciple Center, 301 Northwest 36, which is just down from the First Christian Church, where I'm the associate minister. So, they can call me at the First Christian Church, and I can talk to them.
Well, wonderful. Jeff, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much, Ken.